Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it.
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Bow, bow, bow.
I am Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
And who might you be?
And how are you today? That's nice. Good to hear.
Could be better, but okay. And have you got anything that you're clicking with or would like to click with?
There are some clickable objects on my desk, but
A desk full of items.
all I have
Talk us
on my
through
desk today,
Talk us through them.
a small piece of bubble wrap, but
Yeah.
everything's been popped.
All popped.
So you're not going to
Pre-popped.
get any popping. You could get some rustling. Do you want to hear that?
Go on. Yeah, that's nice.
I have
Bit
one
of ASMR
cable adapter.
We've
Doesn't
seen
look
that
too
before.
dangerous, but you
We've
know.
had that before.
So
Yeah,
I'm putting that out of reach.
well out of the way. Yeah.
And then the last thing actually shouldn't make noise. This is a cat toy, a sort of
Right.
an elephant. Can you see that?
Little elephant. Yeah.
Little elephant.
And it's got different textures on its ears.
Yeah, like I suppose you could use it for a baby. Maybe it was for a baby, and then we gave it to a cat. I don't know what it's doing in here. I think, funnily enough, neither a baby or a cat brought in here. It's more likely to have been the fucking dog. The dog just creates mayhem. Puppies create mayhem everywhere they go.
Yeah,
She
they
just
do.
loves to get things and then redistribute them. Do you know what I mean? That's her main hobby beyond smelling is redistribution.
This needs to be somewhere else. I'm going to find somewhere else for this. It
She
doesn't
loves to
belong
get...
here.
There's so much wood in my garden. I can't tell you, Andy. I don't know where the wood's coming from. I'm not talking like branches and sticks, right? I'm talking about bits of wood. Some bits look like driftwood. Other bits look like fence wood. And some bits just look like planks of wood. And every day... And when my wife was away, I did a massive garden tidy up like you wouldn't believe. Pruning, everything. It looked immaculate. It was a surprise for when she got back from holiday, right? She came back, she couldn't believe it. Like a manicured back garden, right? Dog shit, gone. Leaves, gone. Everything, beautiful. Since then, the dog almost took umbrage at this. It was like, why have you been mucking around with my domain? That's not how I like
It's all
it.
tidy now. This
So-
is no good.
She's almost upped her shitting, right?
Yeah.
Like, so now it'll be like something from a horror film. You'll clean up the shit in the garden.
Like a dirty protest.
Yeah, and then you look
Mia's prison
round.
in
You look,
Maine.
it's like fucking Bobby Sands situation.
Bobby Sands, yeah.
You look round and the whole fucking garden's covered in turds. But it's the wood that I don't understand. Where's it coming from? I thought, well, how does she have access to wood? So I looked at the fence. There was some trellising, but there's none missing. So where's and none of the wood, it doesn't match up with the fencing. So she's got some sort of source of wood, and what she does is she chews the wood up, and then she distributes the wood chippings around the garden.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Has she got access to your eBay login? Maybe she's buying wood.
Could be that.
Loose wood off eBay.
Could be that.
Delivered.
Could be that.
That seems the most reasonable explanation.
I
for
was
it,
actually
think,
looking at wood recently because I got it in my head that I wanted to make a bird box.
Right.
I went on the website of the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, right?
Yeah.
And there's a how to make a... it's because I was reading a book in which the character, because he's bored, decides to go and get some wood and some basic tools. That's how he writes.
Right.
He goes, I was quite bored. So I went out to a hardware shop and I bought a piece of wood and some basic tools and spent the afternoon making a bird box. And I thought, fucking hell, that sounds good, right? I like to try and find ways to keep myself out of doing other things like looking at fucking Twitter or whatever. It was some time wasting bollocks, right?
Yeah.
So with this
What's his
bird
basic
box,
tools? He's going to need at least a saw.
yeah, that's
A
what he
hammer,
meant.
a
Well, I've got
ruler,
a solution here because
pencil.
what you do is you get a plank of wood. It's all on the thing. The simple way to make it. You don't need various parts of wood. If you buy the right length and width of a plank, and there is a wood.
Yeah.
There's a wood. What do you call it? A wood shop. A wood merchant's.
A carpenter.
Yeah, there's a wood merchant's quite near my house. You buy one plank, you saw it in various places, and that gives you all the pieces you need to make the bird box. But then when I started thinking about it, I thought, fucking hell, where am I going to do the sawing? But it's all right because my best mate is he's very handy, unlike me.
Right.
Super handy. And he loves it. He spends all of his time, like he absolutely loves it. He says it's how he keeps his mental health in check. It's one of the main ways he does it. At the weekends, any spare time when he's not working, he will be doing some DIY, right?
Yeah.
Big projects he takes on as well.
Good for mindfulness, I think. Yeah.
Very good. It really
if
helps
you're into
him. Really, if you're into it. Yeah, I mean, for me, it'd be bad for my mental because I'm impatient, I'm incompetent, and
unskilled.
I become angry because I'll try something if it's not working out. Fuck it out. And
you probably hit yourself on the thumb with the hammer.
Smash things and smash myself. It's crazy. But so what? I mean, there's lots of things I used to be not good at that then I became all right at. You got to try.
Have you got a power washer, like a jet wash thing?
No, it broke. I did have one. I had a Kershaw. They're the good ones.
Right.
Now I've got it, mate.
At the top.
Right. Yeah. I always wanted one, but I'd never taken the plunge because they're really expensive. And one day I was up the storage. This is must have been about. I think it was when we first moved into this house. So it's like 9 years ago. I was up the storage, and I'd just put some things into storage. And as I came out, there was a geezer. And he was clearing his storage out. And he came up to me and went, "Do you want this?" And I went, "Do what?" And he went, "Do you want this?" It was a bit one of them. You heard, cunt. Do you want it? Yes or no? Right? And I looked at it. It was a fucking Kershaw. I couldn't believe my luck. I said to him, "I've always wanted one of these." He goes, "Well,
yeah,
I'm moving out of the country and I've cleaned out my storage and I can't get shot of this. And to be honest, I'm leaving."
Can't take them abroad.
He goes, "I've looked into it. You can, but you have to pay an absolute. It'll be double the cost of my flight, right? For the paperwork and the licenses you'd need." He said, "I'm going to chuck this if not. Have it." So I had it, and it was good. I mean, it's one of the most satisfying things you can own, but it broke. So I actually do need to do my decking. I looked into it. There's a place that rents them out for 20 quid a day.
Really? I just got one.
Oh,
I just got one last week. I got one, but it was a Spear and Jackson. But Spear and Jackson's a good brand, isn't it? Unless it's one of them brands that's been bought out by a shitty company who've bought the name.
Oh, yeah,
and then
that can happen,
out inferior product. But it was half price in Argos, Sam, so if you're looking to get another one... This isn't
I might
an
look
advert
into
or
that.
anything. I know we do sponsor stuff on this podcast, but this isn't a sponsor thing. This is just... I'm looking for it now to see if it's still on there for you.
Anyway, my mate who's handy, he's built himself a fucking knockout workshop in his shed. I went in there the other day and I said to him, "I don't know what any of this shit is or what any of it does." I said, "But I'm fucking all for it and I want to spend more time here." He's got all the tools and the things hanging on the wall on a pegboard. He's got a fucking workmate with an electric saw. Circular. Right, yeah. You turn it on, it whizzes around. You push the wood onto it.
You push towards it, yeah. Oh.
Goggles, the lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've said to Len, I booked some time in round at his work shed, and we're going to go round there, and we're gonna make this bird box.
Make a bird box,
but with him my mate supervising us. I think
he'll tell you what to do.
He won't.
Stage.
He won't. I won't need to ask him to supervise because he's a neurotic. He'll say he's generous, so he'll say, "Of course you can use it," but he won't be able to leave me alone in there. So that'll work out quite well. So I'll keep posting on that. It'll be content because I'm bound to fuck it up. But you got to try it. You got to try to make a bird box.
Go.
If not, where the bird's going to fucking live? You know what I mean?
I've got this like wooden structure at the bottom of my garden that was there when I moved in. It used to house a hot tub. But the cunts took the hot tub with them and they moved out.
Oh, yeah.
They left the lid off the hot tub.
Suspected sex people.
They left the lid off the hot tub, which was dropping to bits, but that's a different story. So it's under this pergola, I think they're called. I think that's the name of the wooden structure. And I need to dismantle that because I don't want it. So I'm going to have a fair few planks of wood to play with. What
Interesting. Turn it into something else. Turn it into something else.
Listeners can suggest stuff.
Yeah.
topflighttimemachine@gmail.com.
Now, tonight, we're getting on to it's a bit of a special episode, this, isn't it? But tonight...
Every episode's special, Sam, I think.
That's true.
Can I just say, before we go any further, I have looked, and the Spear and Jackson pressure washer is still 110 quid down from 220.
That's a good price. That's a good price. And how have you found it?
I haven't used it yet.
Oh, okay.
I was just hoping for some guidance and advice if you'd had one. But
no, I had a Kershaw. It was good for a few years. In the end, it broke. That's all I've got.
It's good for doing the driveway and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did the car. I did the decking. I enjoyed doing the decking.
Did the car with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would the pressure not be such that it would dent the car?
No, it didn't dent the car. If you have a robust, I don't know what type of metal is your car made of.
It's regular metal.
Did you just get
Black
the regular metal? Yeah,
Black.
because I always, when I'm buying a car, I always go, can I get extra strong metal? And they go, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And I go, I want like a steel or iron car, please.
You know, I live in London, so I need like special metal.
Anything could happen.
London metal.
It's fucking, have you been on those streets?
Yeah.
It's fucking mayhem. Just go down, get a pint of milk. You could be hit 4 or 5 times. I want a steel car. And they go, oh, of course, Mr. Delaney. Yes, this is the
iron car.
We should have said that. This is the steel model. Good. Fucking try and mug me off with your conventional metals. I've got to get in the car. I've got to pick up. My daughter's been at Reading Festival all weekend, right?
Blimey.
And she's gone, can you pick me up? I'd say I'd left it open, but she seemed to think someone else's dad was going to give him a lift or whatever. That's all gone fucked. He's not turning up till 6 a.m. tomorrow. And she's like, I want to come home tonight. And I said, fine, I'll come to Reading. It's like 45 minutes, hour from my house. And she's gone, yeah, the only thing is, she's going, it's not me, but my mates, you know, they all want to see Billie Eilish, right? I know that.
There's a Billy Idol there. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know that she wants to see him too, but she feels guilty. So I said, well, what time does she finish? Her set finishes at 11:30. So I said, all right. I'm gutted because I got to drive them to the Isle of Wight tomorrow, right? Her and her brother.
Hell.
So, but what are you going to do? You know, she's been there a few nights already. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. She went, but the thing is, the stage is really far from our tent, and then the gate, which is where you meet us, is really far from our tent as well.
Yeah.
So she finishes at 11:30. So I reckon, conservatively, they're not going to be at the tent till midnight. You'd like to think that they would have had the foresight to pack up their tent and shit before Billie Eilish, so they could just go grab it and then come to me. My suspicion, I'm pretty sure they're pissed. I don't know if my daughter is. I'm pretty sure her mates are. I've had some clues. There's about like 30 to 40 kids all from her school. Like fucking all of them have gone together, right? And so I'm getting a lot of intel.
They're all pissed, Sam. They're
pissed off their nuts. So the idea that they're going to fucking make their way over to tent, get their shit together, right, and then get their shit over. I'm going to be sitting outside the Reading Festival tonight till at least 1 a.m.
You're going to get home at about 2:30 in the morning.
What do you think? I'm going to get there, just to be on the safe side, at midnight, right? Just to be on the safe side. Bear in mind, I'm usually in bed at 10.
Oh, fuck. That's the worst.
I'm going to be sitting outside Reading Festival at midnight. There'll probably be a bunch of other dads there as well, so I was even hoping my handy makes his daughters there. I was hoping he was going to go, but he's got other arrangements. I might meet some other dads. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Roll your eyes.
You could do a little video diary for the turbo.
Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will, because we've talked before about waiting outside parties in your car late at night, and that's usually in a quiet residential street. And if someone walks past you and just sees you, a weird, bald, middle-aged man, and it's 1 a.m.
in pyjamas, and
you're in the car in your pyjamas, it's weird. And I understand it's weird. And I almost want to wind down the window and go, I know what this looks like, but don't worry, I'm not a murderer or a pervert. I swear to God, I'm just waiting for my daughter.
Yeah, there'll be loads of you, though.
There'll be loads. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking I might take something to watch on my iPad. I might take my iPad. I might download a film. Then it's all right, isn't it?
That's a good idea. I mean, last year my daughter went to Leeds, which of course is the other half of the Reading Festival.
Yeah.
And she wanted me to pick her up on the Monday morning, but at 8:30 a.m.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't. That would be less bad for me. because I don't mind getting up early. It's the staying up late. I don't know. I mean, I might just be asleep in the car by the time she rocks up.
She did say that the last night was carnage because people were just starting fires, setting fire
they started
tents.
fires last year at Reading. When the gig ends...
People were getting glassed and getting their heads kicked in. And it was just carnage.
People get bored, and last year there was a lot of news stories about that happening at Reading. It's like as soon as the concert ends, people go, well, what should we do now? Let's set fire to everything.
Set fire to everything.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the reasons my daughter wants to come home tonight before the fires really kick off.
They saw it on that Woodstock documentary on Netflix and thought, that's good.
I'm assuming there'll be I don't keep up with festivals, but I'm assuming there'll be a huge presence of Hell's Angels. Is that right?
Usually, that's what usually happens. Yeah,
so I am worried about that. I said, listen, she said, have you got any advice for us? I mean, listen, it's up to you what you do. I'm not one to give advice, but I would say be cautious of Hell's Angels, and certainly in the sense of don't be fooled into joining a Hell's Angel gang. You're very young. Yeah. You've got your A-levels ahead of you. It's not... Just don't do it. I mean, you're going to spend time with Hell's Angels. That's what happens at rock festivals. But just don't sign up and go on the road with them, you know?
Yeah.
It's not as glamorous as they make out in the movies.
Sign up as an associate member and you just get the newsletters. Yeah. You get like a badge for your denim jacket.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
You get the badge and all this sort of stuff, but don't go on the road because it's not how you imagine it to be. It's a lot of it's very grubby and cold and wet a lot of the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, remember that Hell's Angel documentary that we deep dived?
That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
It was IFS only. We didn't.
We better be careful
to the
because
public.
Someone actually emailed me then. I think that was like, I don't know, it was at least 3 years ago, and said, "Look, it's it's all fun, lots of fun. You're laughing at the Hell's Angels documentary. I get it.
No one likes a joke more than the Hell's Angels.
But be careful. These people are serious. If it gets back to them, and it will get back to them.
Oh, it always gets back to them. Yeah.
They may kill you.
They may, yeah.
I had a warning like that in email form.
Yeah.
I don't know whether maybe it was a Hell's Angel and it was like a veiled threat. I don't know.
I've been an associate member.
Maybe I'm an associate member of the Hell's Angels, and they will kill you if they hear you making jokes on a podcast. They'll think that it's worth murder.
Yeah, you can easily take that email and replace the word "they" with "we" or "I," can't you?
Yeah.
And then it becomes a lot more sinister.
All I can say is I hope I don't see any of them tonight. For all I know, there could be Hell's Angel dads waiting outside in the waiting spot, same as the other dads waiting for their Hell's Angel kids to finish and come out.
What the parents of the Hell's Angels that are in there, you mean?
Yes.
Well, they're not allowed out because they've got work to do. They've got to be there till the end of Monday. Overseeing the burning of all the tents and everything.
How do their Hell's Angel children get home then?
Well, they'll come collect them tomorrow night. You want to go down there tomorrow night at like 7 p.m.
They do the burning, of course. And fighting with their bicycle chains.
Yeah. We've said enough about the Hell's Angels.
Should we do consumer rumour?
Oh, we're going to do consumer rumours. We've had loads in, haven't we?
Yeah, thanks for the response. And there's been some really good ones as well. I've really enjoyed some of them.
Go on, you go first then. What you got?
Oh, hang on a sec. I haven't got them in front of me yet.
I'll do one then. Here's one from Joe Fairs.
Yeah.
A couple I can remember from when I was younger. He says, Kentucky Fried Chicken changed its name to KFC, not for a rebrand, but because there wasn't enough chicken in their product to call it chicken.
No.
I vaguely remember that, but it seems like bollocks.
Yeah, I remember that one well.
There's easy to say, KFC.
How consumer rumour started as a concept was, when we were talking about it the other day, we were saying how like there was a lot of rumours about something not being what it claims to be. So McDonald's fries aren't made from potatoes, so they have to come fries, not chips, right?
Right.
By the way, I don't know if that's true. I'm going to say I don't think it is true because I know McDonald's are very litigious. But that's the whole point. These are consumer rumours. They are not consumer facts.
It's just not because they call them fries in America and it's an American company. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, assume that all the consumer rumours are bullshit. That's the joy of them.
Yeah.
Jalapeño.
Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you wouldn't be hearing this brief but annoying message if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your tits.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
Well, there's another one from Joe, and it's McDonald's.
Yeah.
And he says a McDonald's burger only had a gherkin in it because if it didn't, the sugar ratio would mean it would have to be classified as a dessert. I like that. That feels plausible. Put a gherkin in it.
Oh, are you getting these off the best ones seem to be on the Patreon, right?
These are emails that I've got the emails. If you're looking at the Patreon, then that's good as well.
Okay. So like Ricky Gaylor,
attack.
Ricky Gaylor said, best consumer rumour from school: vegetarians couldn't eat Skittles because the red ones were coloured by beetle's blood. But then he's written, a quick Google showed there might be some truth to it. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's on the internet, so it must be true.
Dylan White has said, consumer rumour from the late 80s, Whiskers has something addictive in it. So if you give it to your cat even once, it will refuse to ever eat anything else. Well, in the 80s, we fed all of our cats Whiskers, cat heroin. We fed all our cats Whiskers, and I've talked about this before when we were talking about Aquafresh that time. You know, like how you think what your mum does and what you have in your house is the standard, and if you go to someone else's house and they have something different, you think like this. Ugh. Weird.
That's horrible. Yeah.
And I felt that with toothpaste, various brands. I'd think, oh, that family are weird. And my mum wouldn't discourage this, by the way. If I told her, she'd go, oh yeah, weirdos, right? I go, I'm at my friend's house and they don't feed their cat Whiskers. She'd go, what do they give it? Go cat. Disgusting, right? JJ Hayes says McDonald's urban myth. There's so many McDonald's urban myths, isn't there?
I've got another one here in front of me. Yeah,
this is a good one. They paid the IRA protection money to not bomb their restaurants. Could be true.
It could be.
Tin Tinner is written underneath. Individual retirement account IRA on the pay slips at McDonald's. Right. The Mirror tried to make out all the Yanks were funding them.
Was that the money that went to the IRA then on the pay slip? That's the IRA deduction.
Yeah. So maybe it's like every employee has to give a contribution from their wage to the Irish Republican Army. Well,
there's another one here. Another McDonald's one from Fabio Grassi. He says, a consumer rumour I was told by a mate who was utterly convinced of it being true was that when McDonald's advertised their beef as being 100% British beef, they're only able to do this because they started a beef company called 100% British.
Superb.
And that the beef is in fact foreign.
Foreign beef.
Here's one from Paddy Wilson. I think we've covered this before. Constant consumer rumour that goes around all the time is one regarding salad cream and piccalilli. Always claim these are going to be stopped being sold. I believe this is by Sir John Salad Cream and Sir John Piccalilli in an attempt to boost sales. Absolutely correct.
And it's brilliant. It's I love it.
It always works.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Personally, I think it's brilliant that
we should do it more often. We should do it more often.
We should keep saying, this is ending. This tier's ending. Exactly. We're shutting it down unless you get 10 of your mates to go paid platinum tomorrow. Yeah,
it's over. Yeah, by the end of the week.
Yeah, it's really good. The other consumer, the experts at Consumer Rumours as well, are Ryanair. Ryanair. What's the geezer's name? Sir John Ryanair. He's fucking legendary.
Michael Ryanair.
Yeah, Michael Ryanair.
I was going to say Michael Ryan, but that was the Hungerford shooter. Michael O'Leary.
Michael O'Leary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Michael O'Leary, and I've got a theory about aviation across this nation.
I got it down the precinct.
He's always coming out. Consumer rumours, is it? Here's one for you. We're going to start charging to use the toilet on the planes. He said that.
Yeah.
He also released it once that they were looking into having standing on planes, and they even released illustrations of the designs, right?
Yeah.
That they were going to have. So he's really good at that.
Yeah, every day's April Fool's Day for Michael O'Leary.
Yeah. What do you
else
think
we
of
got?
what? Oh yeah, let's look for some more consumer rumours. But I have to ask you before we go, what you think of this business in Spain with the head of the Spanish FA kissing all them ladies.
Oh,
he is literally.
Incredible.
Someone sent us a message saying, "Is this the ultimate? Is this the ultimate? This and that?" And he he more or less has said, "Hey, come on, pussycat, calm down.
just a kiss.
It's just a little kiss. You got lovely
You
lips.
won the cup.
And what am I supposed to do? We won the cup. I'll give you a nice big smacker on the lips. Come on, pussycat."
I'll hold your face while I do it too.
It's nice. It's nice.
Beautiful.
It's nice for a man to cup your face in his hands. It feels lovely. You like it, pussycat? Come on. Let me see that smile of yours.
It's fucking incredible.
It's
I mean, even
insane,
the guy,
isn't it?
the guy who's the coach, who all the players hate.
Yeah.
And then fucking John F.A., whatever he's called, Juan F.A., offered to give him a 4-year extension if he'd stick by him. And then he's turned against him as well.
Yeah, that's really funny. Come on.
Well, he's turned against him now. Fuck your job.
These saucy bitches are trying to make trouble for me. I don't like it. You gotta come out on my side. No, I don't. No, fuck that. I'll give you a
got too
4-year
far.
contract. Now what you say? It still doesn't seem right.
No. Fucking hell. Yeah, it's not really advancing the women's game much, I'd say.
No.
But it's
Oh, this is a good one. I really like this one, right? This is a consumer rumour. How long have we been recording for so far? Okay.
we're all right. Go.
Yeah, all right, good, because this is my
long
favourite one, probably. This is from Ian Duncan. All right, lads, I'm Ian. I live in Tokyo, and I love listening to your pod. Pissing myself laughing often gets me a bit of fucking space on the train. All right, Ian,
bullet
calm
train.
down. On the Japanese bullet train, is it? Well, Ian, I'd like to know what it's like living in Tokyo and why you lived there. It's a place that I'm probably top of my places I'd like to visit that I've never been
It's
to.
up there with me as well. Shall we
Yeah.
go together?
Oh, let's do a fuck. Ian,
like the Blue Peter expedition in the summer.
Ian, can you please
Tokyo.
see how many other Top Flight Time Machine fans there are in Tokyo? Because if we can justify coming to do a live show in Tokyo, and I like to imagine we'd combine that with a special one-off, perhaps live streamed for money, Top Flight Time Machine live karaoke session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll do it in Ian's house. If we can just get 3 people, he'll come along.
Come on, Ian.
We'll put the show in Ian's house
Ian, make it happen.
and the karaoke.
I actually have been, for reasons that I will talk about on maybe next week's episode, I've been in touch with the Japanese tourist board recently, right?
Okay.
For a thing an article that I'm writing, but it wasn't about travelling to Japan, but it was something with links to Japan, so I was asking them for some advice and background. And we were getting on quite well over email. And I did just chuck in a cheeky at one point. There was some banter going back and forth between me and the PR lady. And I did just chuck in why don't you fly me over to Tokyo? Then I could just write about that and all. And she's just gone, no.
the exchange ended at that point.
Yeah. She was like, no, don't be silly. That shit used to work back in the old days, not anymore.
Yeah, back then. Do you are you a fan of Jane McDonald, the singer who
On
does
the boats,
documentary
yeah.
series? Yeah, I seen her latest series. It just started last week.
No, what's it called?
Jane McDonald, Lost in Japan.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah,
Definitely going to watch it.
Got him.
Anyway, he lives in Japan. So, Ian, get back in touch. Tell us about your origin story of Japan. Not a long one, though. Keep it really brief. Anyway, he says, read consumer rumours. When I was a student in the late 80s, I subsisted primarily on a diet of Marmite on toast and pints of Guinness. Oh, risky. Some cunt or another told me that Marmite was made out of the spent yeast from Guinness vats, right?
Right.
So he's eating, that's my concern. You can't eat that, you can't consume that much yeast every day, Andy. You'll get an infection or something, won't you?
A yeast infection.
Yeah, exactly. Women that get yeast infections in their fannies, I believe, but I'm not ruling out the idea of if you're eating only Marmite and Guinness, you're going to get a willy infection.
In the pipe, the willy pipe.
The willy pipe, exactly. Anyway, he says, as I had to read Tristram Shandy that week, brackets, which is lauded as the first English novel, but in fact is fucking shite. Ian's so angry. I diverted myself by writing to both Guinness and Marmite to ask if it was true. I love writing to fucking companies, right? And this is why this email's great, because listen to this. A week later, on exactly the same morning, I got identically worded letters from both Guinness and Marmite saying that it was company practice to not reveal how they sourced their ingredients or disposed of waste, but they would be grateful if I did not disseminate the rumour I had heard, the consumer rumour. Right?
Fucking hell. Yeah.
They bought my silence with 24 cans of Guinness and 12 jars of Marmite. So my lips remain sealed for the next 35 years. Fuck knows what that was about, but I wasn't complaining. TTFN, Ian in Tokyo.
Wow.
Ian, that is a really good email, and we don't often say that about any interactions. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. But what I thought, because I was telling my son the other day, and I'm sure I've told you this before on the podcast, that I knew someone when I was younger, and she told me that when she was a kid, she'd had a tube of Smarties, and it didn't have an orange one in it. And of course, the orange one was the only one with a different flavour, right? I don't know if that's still the case, but it was in the 80s.
You can now buy just the orange ones.
Oh, is that right?
Boxes and tubes. Yes, they're my favourite.
Okay.
They're the ones I buy.
Well, this is the 80s, and she got one without the orange one. She wrote a letter to Roundtrees, right? Who I believe were the masterminds behind Smarties back then. And she said, listen, I can't remember her word, but she more or less said, listen, dear Sir John Smarties, I've got a fucking tube of Smarties in. There's not a single orange one in it. That's a rip-off.
What you can do about it?
Orange is my favourite. I'm really pissed off. And she said, she signed her name and put her age. She's like, Sarah, age 10 or whatever, right? Fucking only about a massive box of about 100 tubes of Smarties gets sent back with a letter apologising, right? And I've always found that really appealing, and I told my son about it the other day, so this is a coincidence, and he was like, oh, we need to start doing that. So I said, yeah, maybe we will. And now I've got this letter, now we've got this email from Ian. I think this is good content, and I actually might catalogue the whole thing for the Turbo subscribers, and I might write a letter. I might basically just follow the same wording of Ian and try to recreate.
Just do what he did.
I'm going to try to recreate 35 years later. I'm going to try to recreate the Ian Duncan manoeuvre, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for Guinness Zero because I don't want Guinness normal, but I think that'll be fine. They use yeast in both, as far as I'm aware, right?
I don't think you should ask.
Oh no, you're right. All right, if I get normal Guinness, I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Mate, yeah, I'll just send it to you, and I'll keep the Marmite. I'll keep the fucking Marmite.
That's fair.
So I think it's really interesting, things like this, and I think it could be an unfolding drama that we could catalogue on the pod and on the Patreon. So I'm going to do that. It sounds really good, doesn't it?
Do it tonight when you sat in the car.
Good idea.
Outside the
No
Reading
time
Festival.
like the present.
Do it then.
No time like the present.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for this one. Just update on the prediction league. The weekend. You got 2 points, Sam. I got 5 points. Results got 1 point. Yeah. What did I get correct?
How did you get them in Coventry? I don't even know what the score was, mate.
What? Who? What? What match?
Coventry, Sunderland.
0-0.
0-0. How was it? How was the Ricoh Arena?
It's nice enough. Yeah,
I used to go to Highfield Road practically every season for West Ham in like the 90s, and I used to quite enjoy going there. But I haven't been to Cov since they left that, which must be 20 years ago.
It's like just like a new style stadium, fairly small, probably holds about 30,000 maybe.
Well, you know, our mutual friend Dave Whitehouse is a big Cov fan, and so is his brother. And for Children in Need once, his brother, for a charity thing, sat in every seat in the whole stadium, one by one, in succession.
Jesus.
It was his idea. And I think he was about 100 seats. I mean, I think it wasn't at Highfield Road, I think it was at Ricoh Arena. But what's that? 15,000? More, maybe?
I think it's about 30,000, I don't know.
30,000 seats, Andy. For Pudsey Bear.
I'll have a look.
For Pudsey fucking Bear.
Fucking away games, it holds 40,500.
All right.
Fuck me.
So imagine that. Apparently he was 100 seats in, and he's already texting his brother.
32 and a half, sorry. 40,000 for gigs.
He's already texting his brother going, this is a nightmare, I'm sick of this.
Fuck this.
100 seats in, mate. 32,000 seats you got to sit in. I mean, it's a nice idea when you say it, when you tell Terry Wogan and Pudsey Bear, listen, I'm thinking of sitting in every seat in the Ricoh Arena. They go, great.
Pudsey goes,
get sponsored.
Pudsey goes, what, you sure, mate?
Have you thought this through? Yes, I've thought it through.
I wouldn't do it, put it that way.
All right. Wouldn't it be simpler just to fucking jump out of a plane like most cunts? No, I want to do this. I'm scared of heights. No. Yeah, you'll be scared of fucking seats by halfway through that night, but fair enough. Well, that's what you want to do. It goes to a good cause.
You can't back out. You've got to do all of them.
If not,
I'll shame you.
If not, I will shame you
on BBC One
on national television. Do you understand? Yeah, fine.
Sign this.
I want to do it. You think you want to do it, mate, but you're fucking naive.
You're out your fucking depth, lad.
But listen, I'm Pudsey Bear. I've been fucking overseeing all sorts of fucking madcap charity fucking exploits for years, right? I know my way around. It's not my first rodeo. And this is one of the daftest fucking endeavours I've ever heard of in my life.
But I'll be honest, wankers like you are 10 a penny. They come up with these big ideas and they cannot follow through on them. You're going on a list, mate. Look,
but
you're going on a big list I've already got. You fucking said
it now. If you're one of these cunts who gets 100 seats in and starts saying, oh, I've got to go home, I'm feeling dizzy. I don't think I'm just going to fucking turn a blind eye. Hey, and no jokes. I know I'm fucking blind in one eye. I'm talking about the other eye. Yeah? I'm not going to turn my good eye away and pretend that you haven't backed out of the deal. I'm going to fucking have a word with Uncle Terry and he's going to fucking come out and grass you.
If you jack it in after 100 seats, right, we're going to work out what percentage of the capacity that was, and then all of the donations you've had, you've got to give back all of it, minus that percentage. So you'll probably only raise about £2.50. And we'll make you come on with the big check.
And I tell you what, I guarantee you'll have a nasty case of fucking Emma Freud's up your ring piece as well within the first fucking half hour. Because remember as well, fucking Pudsey Bear, Children in Need, is synonymous with winter, autumn turning to winter. That's the time of year we always do it. It's fucking freezing and people don't think of that because they come up with the ideas earlier in the year when the sun's still shining. You're going to be doing this in fucking maybe 5 degrees centigrade if you're lucky.
You fucking knob. Alright, that's it then I think for this one. It's been nice. If you've got any more consumer rumours, send them in.
Keep coming in, really like them.
The Patreon comments or on the Twitter or topflighttimemachine@gmail.com. And we'll be back throughout the week with all the other stuff and more. Thanks for listening then, and goodbye.
Goodbye.